back to Tales of the Getaway Guy, an adventure into 23 years of TV getaways all across New York State and beyond. And our travels occasionally take us into my 23 years of radio days where my broadcasting career began. Hold on, I've got everything you're going to need for your next getaway. Hello again, Mike O'Brien, your Getaway Guy. Can you tell where I'm at? You believe this is Washington, D.C.? It's the Wharf District. It's new and it's upcoming and it's really a fun area to be in, but you're still close to the monuments and everything else that Washington, D.C. is famous for. It's a great getaway. Today's podcast, of course, one of our partners and nice sponsors, good people, great place to get away to is Geneva on the Lake. They are, again, on beautiful Seneca Lake. If you feel like you're a world away, but in fact you're about an hour and a half out of Rochester or Syracuse, a magnificent resort on beautiful Seneca Lake. It is a classic old world style resort, perfect getaway for the two of you. This time of year, it's outstanding. Summer, you can use the pool, which is just beautiful. The gardens are jaw-dropping. It's such a great gem that we have in the Finger Lakes. GenevaOnTheLake.com. Make a reservation right away. It's a nice romantic getaway. GenevaOnTheLake.com. So anyway, I jump in the car and I head out of Rochester, 390 South, into the southern tier, grab Route 15 South, and then eventually into Pennsylvania. And on your way to D.C., you have to stop in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, because Gettysburg is an amazing battlefield of great history regarding the Civil War. And I love stopping there because there's so much information you can gather. In the visitor center, you have to stop there first. Check out the cyclorama. It's a 3D depiction of the battlefield, and then jump in your car, self-guided tour, and you can do that. Or you can hire tours with guides. It'll cost you a little bit, but it's well worth it. But if you want to do your own kind of a thing like I did, do it. And they'll give you a map and away you go. This is Soldiers National Monument here at Gettysburg, a must-see spot because Abraham Lincoln gave the Gettysburg Address right here, November the 19th, 1863. Then it is back onto Route 15 South into D.C., then into the Wharf District. This is a new area with a ton of shops and restaurants. It's basically on the Potomac River. And they even have a water taxi that you can take to Alexandria. Just a really fun place to be. I stayed at the Intercontinental Hotel, and I like it here. It's very, very comfortable. I decided to stay here at the Intercontinental on the Wharf. It's a fairly new hotel in an up-and-coming area that has really developed over the past couple of years. I like this hotel. It's very comfortable, and it also has an outdoor patio. Very few hotels have outdoor patios here in D.C. This one does. So I did a little research and found it, and I think it's well worth it, and the view is pretty outstanding, too. Now, after a good night's rest, you're going to want to get going, have your breakfast, your coffee, your Danish, whatever, and head out to the Jefferson Memorial, where the cherry blossoms are. It's about a 20-minute walk from the hotel, from the Wharf District. Not a bad walk at all. And you just follow the crowd because they're all heading over to the tidal basin and the Jefferson Memorial. The sights are just beautiful. Now, by the time you see this, the cherry blossoms will probably be gone. They don't last very long. But nonetheless, cherry blossoms or no cherry blossoms, this is a beautiful place to be when in Washington, D.C. Then it's on to the Washington Monument. You're not far from that. You can also, instead of walking, you might want to take a tour bus. That's available in town here. Or even electric scooters to get around. Everybody is on the electric scooters. Listen, I want to say hi to our friends at Nino's Pizzeria in Rochester. Nino's, a great place to go for good Sicilian style pizza, thick Sicilian style. If you like that kind of pizza like I do on occasion, I go to Nino's. I've been going there for years. They are one of my favorite places. I wonder if they have one of these like this in D.C. I'll bet they don't. Unique Pizza, Nino's Pizzeria in Rochester, 1330 Culver Road. It's near Merchants. One of my favorite pizza place. I can't even say it. Maybe it's the sauce. I don't know, but it's one of my faves, and I think you'll like it too. Nino's. Tell them the Getaway Guy sent you. So since you're at the Washington Monument, you can see the White House from there. I mean, it's from a distance, but it's nice to be able to check that out because you can see it because you're kind of elevated from the Washington Monument. So you can see the White House, but then walk along the National Mall to get to other attractions like the very popular National Museum of African American History and Culture. Now, this is a fairly new museum here in Washington, D.C. So lines are a little long, but be patient. It's well worth it. An amazing museum to check out right on the National Mall. It's very close to the National Monument, the Washington Monument. And then further on down, you've got everything from the Museum of Natural History. It's a big draw there as well. Oh, speaking of a big draw, if you're ever out checking out the history at in Caledonia, Mumford area, Genesee Country Village and Museum, stop into the village of Caledonia for lunch or dinner or even breakfast on a Saturday and Sunday to my favorite place, Reminisce Soda Fountain. Caledonia's hidden gem for great food, ice cream sundaes, comfort food in a 1950s style restaurant. Reminisce Soda Fountain in the village of Caledonia. Find them online. It's a great find. It really is. ReminisceSodaFountain.com. They're at 3013 Main Street, Caledonia. They're open for lunch and dinner and open early for breakfast Saturdays and Sundays. Now they're closed on Tuesdays, but every other day, check them out. Reminisce Soda Fountain. It's one of my favorite places to go when in Caledonia. Now, when you're here in Washington, D.C., walk on over to the National Archives. Now, I got a map from the concierge or from the hotel lobby here, and it's good to have that with you because, there's a lot here in Washington, D.C. So I pinpointed the National Archives because I wanted to see, I'd never seen it before, our Constitution, the real deal, under glass, guarded, but you can see it at the National Archives. Not only that, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, it's all there at the National Archives. And you'll find that busier than you may think. Right across from that, or actually just up the street a little ways from there, over on F Street here in Washington, D.C., the National Portrait Gallery. You can spend all day here, portraits of all our American presidents and so much more. I didn't have enough time to check out the whole museum. I just checked out the Portrait Gallery where all the portraits, including an amazing photograph of Abraham Lincoln. And you can see on his face, this was right before he was assassinated here at Ford Theater, which is another attraction you might want to check out when in Washington, D.C. But you can see on his face the amount of strain and drain, and this guy had been through a lot, our President Abraham Lincoln. But all of that is available at the National Portrait Gallery on F Street, not far from the archives. I want to thank again Geneva on the Lake for being a part of our show. This podcast to Washington, D.C., boutique resort hotel and restaurant and historic gardens right in the Finger Lakes, Geneva on the Lake. You're going to love it. This Italian-style villa offers 29 guest suites and studios, all appointed with Stickley furniture. I mean, that says a lot right there. And in the summer, there's 70-foot swimming pool. Unbelievable. But boy, talk about a great getaway. Check it out, GenevaOnTheLake.com, GenevaOnTheLake.com. And that's pretty much it. Well, Washington, D.C., a great idea, a getaway for this spring, summer, or fall. I highly recommend it. You can find all of my getaways. Go to Tales of the Getaway Guy on any of your podcast platforms, or it's easy just to see and hear our podcast. Just go to thegetawayguy.com. They're all right there. thegetawayguy.com. Check out some of my past episodes. Thank you, Nino's. Thank you, Reminisce Soda Fountain. Thank you, Geneva on the Lake. And thank you for being a part of today's show. Until next time, I'm Mike O'Brien from Washington, D.C., your getaway guy.